Good day everyone. I am Abdul Fattah Munir, representing Prime Hub Consulting Services. Today we are going to be treating creation of company file. Now, after installing QuickBooks, the next step is to create a company file. Now, a company file serves as the book or the account of your company. So we are going to create a company file. Now, this is a QuickBooks Desktop version for installation and 2021 edition. So there are two options that you can take while creating a company file. Option 1 is Express Start, as you can see here. Then option 2 is Advanced Setup. We are going to be looking at the two options in creating a company file in QuickBooks. Okay, company file. If you have like 2, 4, 5 companies, you can create company file for each of those companies. So a company file accommodates the records of a particular company. So that is how it is. So now, using the Express Start option. Now, if you don't know much about QuickBooks, this is your first time and you have not experienced anything on QuickBooks before, it's advisable for you to go with the Express Start. Here they will ask you a few questions thereabout, then the creation of the company file will be completed. Whereas the Advanced Setup here will take you to an easy step interview where QuickBooks will ask you numerous questions, and these questions they ask, the answer you provide will guide them on the settings and the related account and the file that's related to your industry or your kind of business. But whichever way, if you create through Express Start, you can still go about editing and answering those questions later on. I will show us how to go about that. But if you are using Advanced Setup, they will ask you some questions and you answer. The answers you provide, they will use it to create a file that is relevant to your company or your business type. So let's start with Express Start. I click on Express Start. Now you can see all this with the asterisk. They are required, they are compulsory. So we have to create a company name. So what is the company name? I'm using Abdul Fattah Enterprises. You understand? The industry, if you are confused, you can click on Help Me Choose. Clicking on Help Me Choose bring another window where you can now check. If you are into accounting or bookkeeping services, that is your industry, you select the industry. At the right hand here, there are accounts that are relevant to account or bookkeeping industry. So also, if you are into advertising or public relation, you can see the accounts that are related to advertising or public relation. Now you can go through to check which type is best suited to your kind of business. But if at the end of the day you cannot see exactly industry that is close to yours, that is exactly yours, you can actually go for a closer one, the one that is close to your kind of business. But at the end of the day, if you cannot still see anyone, you can go for general product base. If you're into buying and selling, if it is service, you go to general service base. For the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to go with general product based business. When I click on that, I click on OK. Now that is that. Now what is the company type? Now, is it a sole proprietorship? Is it partnership? Is it corporation? Is it non-charity? Is it non-profit? Is it charity or other or none? If your option is not found here, you can go with the other, none, or you go with sole proprietorship. But let me explain something here. This QuickBook, they have tax form. In fact, the reason why they're asking for company type is to know the exact kind of tax form they will use. Now, this tax form is designed in UK way. So they will create a tax form that is related to a sole proprietorship. If you select partnership, they will create a tax form related. So if you don't want this, if you don't want to be disturbed with any, you can just go ahead and click other or none, so that they will not disturb you with, because if you select any of these 5 time without number, they'll be bringing up tax form for you. So let's go with other and none. So now you see these 3 asterisks, they are compulsory. Now here, this is you can see assigned by Canada Revenue Agency. This is not related to us. Same thing with the RT. The same thing with this other one. You can leave them, they are not even compulsory. You can go ahead and continue. I'll click on continue. The next step is we have the legal name. Legal name is the registered name of the business. You understand? So you can see that I already inputted it the first time. I input it the first time. Now it's coming up here. The address. Okay, you can say my address is behind, or let me say opposite first bank PLC, then around, let me say Maitama Abuja. Okay, that is that. These 2 fields are meant for the address. Okay, so now go to the city. Okay, I think that is there. City can be Abuja also. Then the province, this is not Nigeria related, so you can come to here, this country, and select Nigeria. Now if you don't select Nigeria, this province, you see initially it was compulsory, it was showing asterisk. It means you don't have any other option than have to input the province, and we don't have province here in Nigeria, so better still select the country and click on Nigeria. Then the phone number, if you have, you can have 0813113. Okay, that's the phone number. Then the email address, okay, that is the email address. Then the website, if you have any. You can see even out of all these places, there's no compulsory, there's no required feed. So but still you can go ahead, so that you save your time when you've created your company file, instead of going back to start editing and inserting all these things. You've already done that here, so you can go ahead and create a company file. I've created a company file now, so you click on that. So while it's processing, you can see that just few questions that were asked using that easy step, that first start, quick start. You understand? So they don't ask most of questions. At the end of the day, after you might have created the company file, you can now go ahead to set your preferences. So most of those questions and answer that you dodged, that you maybe as a result of you not being, as a result of you being new to QuickBook, and you don't want to lose on your way answering those questions, you decide to follow the quick step. There's no problem. You can easily go back to edit after you might have created the company file. Then those questions and answers, you can now answer them perfectly after you've created a company file. But using the advanced method, which is the easy step interview, you will be asked questions, and you must complete those questions before you can create a company file for you. So it's still progressing. You can see that it has created a company file for you. This is the home page, bringing up the home page of QuickBooks. So now you can see you are asked to add. If you want to add who you do business with, you can go ahead and add now. If you want to add the, okay, I think I click on that, I can go back. And if you want to add on the product and services you sell, which are items, you can add. Then your bank details, you can also add. But if you don't want to do that right away, if you want to view the environment, you can go with start working. Now it will load up the home page for QuickBooks. You can see we have the home page already. By the side here is the icon bar. At the top here is the menu bar. Then trying to connect, I'm not connected, so I have to cancel that. Then I have to maximize this. You can see that we have our QuickBooks environment already. So it's trying to tell us if you want to have any new features in QuickBooks, you can easily get them here. So you can see we have our QuickBooks already. The company file has been created using the Quick. Now I told you after creating this, you can easily go back to edit. Under edit, you look at preference. Now when you click on preference, you see most of the questions that will be asked when you use the advanced option is here. You can see like this job and estimate. They will ask you if you want to, do you want to create estimate? They will ask you there. You can easily select yes or no. They also ask you if you want to do progress invoicing. You can also say yes or no. So I have to go back to create using advanced method. Okay, now we are back to creating a company file using advanced setup. So I'm going to click on advanced setup. You can see the easy step interview. You can see it has brought. Now this is the interview progress. As you are being asked, the answers you provide as you move to the next step, the bar increases to signify your progress level. So let's look for a company name. Let's say Salifu Engineering Consults. Consults. So that can be the company name and also the legal name. You understand? So the street address can also be Mararaba, or let me use let me just use Kuje, just put that. Okay, I think behind IBB market, Kuje. Let me just leave that there. Then the city, you can put Abuja. You can see you are asked again the province. In asterisk, you can go down to select Nigeria. When you select on Nigeria, you can see that you can still go ahead. Okay, selected Nigeria. Then the phone number 081313689. Okay. The email address, if you have any. If you don't have, you can still go ahead. You can see that at the end of the day, this, in fact, if you input only Salifu Engineering Consult, you can go ahead to the next place. You understand? That is the only required field. So I click on next. Now after next, you can see that you can from here you can select the industry type, just like that other one. So you can scroll down. You select general product base for the purpose of this tutorial. Here I can also select other and none. That how is your company organized? You can see the form from T1, from T2 and the rest. You can see the form. So all these ones now, they keep times without number, they keep on popping up tax form for you to fill. And you know, this is not Nigeria legislation. They are created based on US and UK, so kind of legislation, tax form. So we don't need them here. We can easily go with order and none, and everywhere the progress will continue. Then next, can see that the progress bar is going up. Then select the first month of your fiscal year. Definitely should be January. That's the fiscal year. Except you have another one you can select, but that is that. Then if you want to set up administrator password, now one good thing about QuickBooks is that it grants the administrator a password and limit others from accessing the QuickBooks without. So even as an administrator, you can easily, after your administrator password is being set, you can create users and limit them or restrict them to a particular section of QuickBooks. You can say, okay, Mr. Bayo, I'm creating user for you, and your password, you can only create bill. You can only create bill and pay bill. You understand? That is that. But you as the administrator, you have access to everything here in the QuickBooks. So we can still leave it like that and go to the next place. Now they want to create the company file now. So I click on next to create company file. Okay, it's loading up. Now it brings up a dialog box with the name Salifun Generic Consult. If I decide I want to change it here, and if I say okay, I want to change the location, I can also click on this drop down here and then select whichever place I want to. So I think this place is fine by me, and I can click on save. Then you can see the progress. They are creating new company file, and we'll wait for it to progress to the 100%. Okay, I see that it has created. The step is still in progress, so click on next. We want to customize QuickBooks for your business. You can see QuickBooks on customizing QuickBooks for your business. This is what you pass through using this particular method, and you can only use this method when you are used to. So what do you sell? It can be service alone, it can be product alone only. So you can select both service and product. If you are, so let's just select that. Next, do you sell product online? You can see you are given an option. If you currently sell, no problem. You don't sell, but you may someday. So you can click on that. And then the third one is I don't sell online and I'm not interested. Abba, don't be fight now. So at least you select the second one. Then next, do you charge sales tax? It's recommended if your business is sales tax related, you should. But if it is not, you click on no. You understand? So if you're into buying and selling and you are selling and you're charging tax, you do that. If not, yes. If yes, that's recommended. So next, do you want to create estimate in QuickBooks? Now your business type might be that kind of one that you are going to create a quote or a proposal. Now, okay, Mr. A, I want to create a proposal. Mr. A, I want to create this. I want to do this job for you, but look at the proposal. You understand? Or I want to help you to service your gen, but look at the proposal. I don't know if you understand. So it's like an estimate is like a quote. You can see there, a bid or a proposal. You understand? You can create estimate, then follow up. Now, if you create estimate, if you give maybe job order or stuff like that, but if you don't, click on no. It's not compulsory. But nevertheless, any option you select, you can easily edit it later. You can easily adjust it under the edit menu bar. So click on next. Now, tracking customer orders in QuickBooks. This is very, very important. So if you actually made a purchase order, you've told your supplier that okay, I need so and so product from you. You've created an order, a purchase order. So QuickBooks will help you to track it. So whenever you now want to have a transaction with that particular person that you created order, you created a purchase order to, you understand? QuickBooks will remind you that okay, there are some orders that you've made on this particular vendor and this vendor have not supplied, do you want to go ahead, or this item you are receiving, is it based on the order that you have placed on so Mr. A or Mr. B? You understand? To track, you can also read through to understand what it actually mean in full. So are you using statement in QuickBooks? Yeah, sometimes you might have sent an invoice to your customer and they are not actually responding. You understand? You've sent time without number. So at the end of the day, maybe you send like 2, 3, 4, 5 different invoices to them and they are supposed to pay you, and stated in the invoice they already know, you've stated that this is when it will due, and they still not reply. So you can easily create a statement now we include all the invoices that you have sent to that person that he has not paid, so that person pay. You can easily read through that too to understand perfectly. Now using progress invoice, remember you created invoice. If you create invoice, for instance, okay, let me start from this. If you create estimates, so you are telling your customer or your client that this is what it will cost me to carry out this job for you, and the customer say okay, go ahead. Now if you want to go ahead but he's not paying now, if he says go ahead, the next step you should do is to create invoice. Now estimate is a non-entry posting, is a non-posting entry, I mean to say. So anytime you create estimates or purchase order, they are just there, they will not affect any account in QuickBooks. But once immediately you create invoice, you can create invoice against that estimate, either full, if the customer say go ahead and do everything, you can create invoice. QuickBooks will give you the option to create invoice against the full estimate, or on a percentage, or a particular or a selected item from that estimate that you gave to the customer or your client. QuickBooks has that option. So now progress invoicing, now once you create invoice, it will tell you if you that Mr. B that you have created estimate for. QuickBooks will tell you that okay, oh, I have there is an estimate that is remaining, oh, you understand, for this particular Mr. A. Do you want to go ahead, or you've already billed this person using creating invoice? You know, if you create invoice, you are billing the person already. You understand? Even though the person has not paid, you are billing the person already. So, and you now demand for maybe the person has paid partial or full, everything. You understand? So you can click on yes or no. You can go with yes, or you can easily read this to understand. You can see a flooring contractor bills for partial payment before a job begins, when material are delivered, and when the job is completed. Now look at how it is. So if I bill my client partial payment before the job begins, now the progressing has started. Now whenever the material are delivered, I will also bill the client, and once the job is completed, I will also bill the client. So anytime I'm having transaction with this client, QuickBooks will also remind me that there's a partial payment that is remaining. No, there's a payment I've made before, and then it will track it for me. So any option you can click. You can also change it later. So you can, managing bills. Now you can see you knowing which vendor you owe money to, tracking how much money you owe, reminding you when bills are due, which is very, very important. Managing your bill. That is that. Do you print check? Now it's possible you are printing check. Now you definitely, maybe you have a printer connected to QuickBooks that you can use in printing. Maybe I don't currently print check, but I would like to. You can go ahead with that. Now tracking inventory. You understand? Now either yes or no. Tracking inventory. Now if you've purchased from your vendor, you understand, if you purchase from your vendor, now QuickBooks will help you. Maybe you create you create a purchase order. You understand? QuickBooks will help you to track that item that you have received. When you are receiving the order, QuickBooks will help you to track it. When you have it in your store, or anyone you create for your customer, QuickBooks will track it. Will tell you the quantity, the ones you have. If it is non-inventory, everything goes. So you can also click on Yes, all these things are just things that you can easily do. Do you accept? I don't currently. Do you accept credit card? I don't currently. Maybe later. Next. Now, tracking time in QuickBook. I don't think in Nigeria here we don't pay in time. So we don't pay using time. I mean to say we don't track time to pay for a job. You can only pay maybe weekly, monthly, or the rest. So majorly on salary base. So, but if you do, you can click on yes. So next. Do you have employee? Seriously? Okay, though it's optional. If you want to, if you say yes, then you have to make use of quick. Why some people click on no because they don't want to make use of QuickBook payroll service. They don't want to make use of it at all, so they will just click no. But that doesn't mean they cannot pay their employee. So if they click on no, it means automatically they will have to pay their employee through vendor. You know, they will have vendor and customer. They will not have employee any longer. So if I click on this no, my employee center will not come up. So if I click on yes, I can see. But some people don't want to even click on the yes, but either way it still work. So next. Now tracking multiple currency in QuickBook. For now, leave it like this because if you turn it on, you cannot turn it off again. Except you are ready and you know that yes, your business is into multiple currencies. You can go ahead and do that. So next. Now they want to use this particular question and answer to create a chart of account for you. A chart of account involve your asset, liability, income, expenses, equity, and the rest. I click on next. Now select a date to start tracking your finances. It can be the beginning of this January, since it's not far. You can select that one, or use the particular date that you are starting. Maybe you don't want to start recording all those transactions that you have missed. You understand? Maybe you want to start now. You are starting afresh. This is where you click. But if you want to start from January, so that your report will start from January downward, and you have to now keep record. You have to now go backdate and record all those other transactions that you've not recorded in QuickBook before. You can click on that, whichever way is better. But based on what suits your taste. So you can look at the chart of accounts that are created for you. Anyone that is not ticked that you think you need, you can also click on it. So but nevertheless, you can still create anyone that is not here later on. So now you can go to setup. You can see the progress now is full. You can go to setup. A congratulations window is shown already. So now QuickBook will now bring up the home page. Now you can see that this one is more. This one has more time, like this one consumes more time than the first method we use. But whichever way, you can easily come to edit button here, edit menu, and go to preference. And we select, and you see everything comes back like that. You can start working. And you click on start working to bring up. You can see that what we have here now are much compared to what we have other method. You can see there's purchase order because they ask for purchase order, but that doesn't mean I cannot bring it in. I can easily go back even while using the first step, the first quick step. I can easily go back and to item and inventory under company preference. I can click on this. By then it is like this. Then I can click on this to bring it up. If I click on it now, you can see that when I click on OK, it means I don't want it. QuickBook will have to close all the open window to effect that change. So let me click on home. Now you no longer see purchase order. You can see. So I can go back again, go to my preference. If I want to set it due to my kind of business, I can go there and click on inventory. Now when you come to job and estimate, you can see that when you go to the next tab, people will ask you if you want to save the changes that you just made. Now I'll click on yes. Okay, I think I click on the other. Okay, now you have job and estimate. Do you want to create estimate? If you don't, you click on no. You see, you can easily come here and do all those things. So most of those questions that were asked, then later on you can discuss on all these preference. But for now if you also want to add a user account number, you can click on this one. This ones you can still explain them later. So let's click on OK. Then we click on main home. You can see that everything is back. We have our QuickBook. Thank you guys. I think that comes to the end of the class. on how to create a company file.